So guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are staying safe, staying well. Mr. Errol Spence has said that his next 3 fights, he wants Danny Garcia, Manny Pacquiao and Terence Crawford. Let's see what Errol Spence has to say. He goes, my realistic goals are Danny Garcia, who we know is mandatory, Manny Pacquiao and Terence Crawford, or Pacquiao then Terence Crawford, Danny Garcia, Pacquiao and Crawford, or Pacquiao then Crawford. That's my goal. I don't want to leave 147 without fighting Terence Crawford. Don't take things for granted. At the time, I was taking a lot of things for granted, slacking off my training, basically not focused as I used to be. For me, it was get back on the ball and heed the warning. I mean, that car accident was a big warning because it should have been fatal. So there you go. Listen, I used to like Errol Spence a lot. I used to think Errol Spence was the next big star, and then Errol Spence went down a route which I don't understand. I thought he was a lot smarter than the other PBC fighters, but actually he got sucked in and he started acting like them, started behaving like them, hanging around with the wrong crowd. And hopefully this car accident has given Errol Spence a new lease of life. It's given Errol Spence an opportunity to reevaluate his life, and he can come strong and come back again, because I do think Errol Spence was something special. I thought Errol Spence had something. And a lot of you gave Errol Spence a lot of stick after the Porter fight, saying that Spence was this monster and he couldn't get Porter out of there. I think that was all the downfall of Spence. I don't think that was the best Spence that turned up against Porter. I don't. I think Spence was already going down the route where he was going downhill, and I think that accident was just basically the peak of that going downhill, and that's why I don't think we got a great performance from Errol Spence against Sean Porter. I think Errol Spence, if you watch him against Brook, he was sharp, he was on it, he was hungry. He was hungry against Porter, but he just didn't look on it. He looked off to me. Remember, Brook beat Porter. Errol Spence should have put in a much more convincing performance. And even Brook said, I was quite surprised at the performance. I was expecting a much better performance from Errol Spence. But Spence didn't deliver, really. And I think that was probably down to Errol Spence's attitude. The fact that Errol Spence was going downhill, the bad company and the bad behavior. We even saw Errol Spence drunk at a press conference. And like I said, let's put all of those things behind him, because hopefully now Errol Spence will his next chapter in his life will just be working hard in the gym and putting in great performances. Now, in terms of him fighting Danny Garcia, that's his mandatory. I believe he beats Danny Garcia. I said it's quite a convincing fight. I would like to see him fight Terence Crawford right after that, and then maybe fight Pacquiao after that. I think people after this pandemic just want to see the Crawford fight right away, and I said Errol Spence should fight Terence Crawford right away. Now, I don't know whether they could put Danny Garcia's mandatory aside if Errol Spence and Terence Crawford want to fight straight away. People want to see the Terence Crawford fight next. Now, the problem is, because Errol Spence has not had a fight, and after the accident, people probably want to see him fight Danny Garcia to see where he's at. Right? Personally, I want to see him fight Terence Crawford right away. Not waste any time, get unifying right away so we can see who the best welterweight is, and then the winner of that fights Pacquiao. I want to see that right away, if I'm honest with you. Or even if an Errol Spence and Pacquiao fight gets made, I just want to see a unification fight, because I want to see who the best welterweight is. Is it Crawford? Is it Pacquiao? Is it Spence? Right now, there's a lot of questions. People think Spence and Crawford are the best. It's going to be out one of them two. But the Pacquiao showed against Thurman, which a lot of people thought Thurman would beat him. He's still got life left. He's still got some life left. Now, I do think that Pacquiao has a greater chance against Crawford than he does against Spence. I think Spence is very big, very strong, also very good chin. I think that's a harder fight for Pacquiao, and I think Spence could grind Pacquiao down. I think Crawford's tactically or more of a technician, but I think Pacquiao could get to him, and also Crawford's vulnerable. I do think he can be hurt. I think if Spence fights Crawford, I do favor Spence in that fight. I think Spence knocks out Crawford. I've said it all along. I think Spence is too big. I want to see Spence Crawford. I want to see. Listen, I've got a lot of stick from a lot of the Crawford fans saying that I'm a Spence fanboy. Some people not saying that I don't give Crawford enough credit. Well, if Crawford beats Spence, he will get his credit from me. But like I said, I don't think he wins that fight. So if Crawford can prove me wrong and beat Spence, which I don't think he will, then Terence Crawford will get his credit for sure. Everyone will give it his credit, but The fact is that I want to see Spence Crawford. That's the fight I want to see. Right after the pandemic, they should make that fight right away. But according to Spence, he wants to fight Crawford right at the end. Do you agree with that? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. And guys, remember to please like, share, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. I want to thank you all for me reaching 7,000 subs. I appreciate your support. Guys, as you can probably see from my channel art, I have recently started Patreon and Blogger. If you were to click on this icon here, it will take you to my Patreon page. And I just want to take you through my Patreon page. So at the minute, I've got 2 options. Hopefully, I will increase this if my Patreon grows. But at the minute, I've got one option, which is $1 a month fan donation, which will obviously help me produce better quality content on YouTube and faster for you guys. And I've got another option of $3 a month for 2 live streams a week discussing boxing with myself. You guys will get to speak to me face to face. And I'll take you to my boxing blog. So if you were to click on this B sign here, it will take you to my boxing blogs, which is this page here. And all you have to do is click on here, and that will take you to my boxing blogs where you can see all my different articles that I've wrote. So as you can see, I've wrote 6 articles about different topics. So if you want to click on one of my articles, all you got to do is click on this, and it will take you straight to the article, and you can read it, and you can then go back and read the others if you would like. But yeah, guys, I thought I'd just highlight this to you. So make sure to read my articles. Make sure to subscribe to my Patreon if you're interested. And guys, I thank you for your support. I thank you for me reaching 7,000 subs. Guys, I'm out.